Data Chat Simplified: How to Collect, Utilize, and Share Data to Drive Instruction by Hector Ramirez. My name is Hector Ramirez. I am an ESL teacher at MLK Middle School in Charlotte. This is my third year as an ESL teacher at MLK. In the beginning of the school year, our admin required us to prepare data to present quarterly this year. I'm demonstrating to you my second quarter data chat that was prepared for my admin. Updates from previous data chats. As an ESL teacher, I've been assigned to a SciOp language lab to work with students from grades 6 through 8. I've been targeting writing development. I started with narrative writing at the beginning of the year. Currently, we have finished our second unit of persuasive writing. For each unit I do an initial assessment. Due to the results of the initial assessment, my integration of reading strategies was limited for this unit. Based on the initial access scores, the data showed the need to work on the following objectives and goals. I decided to make an emphasis to creating multiple paragraph essays, the use of transition words to create cohesive passages, compose, intro, body, and conclusion. Based on the initial access scores, the data showed the need to work on the following objectives and goals. Based on the data I had, I felt that the students needed emphasis on the following standards: to create multiple paragraph essays, the use of transition words to create cohesive passages, and to compose intro, body, and conclusion. My initial pre-assessment indicated a greater percentage of students at the non-mastery level. I anticipated more students at the partial mastery level because prior unit post-tests demonstrated mastery for 2 of the objectives covered in Unit 1. The graph represents the number of students in my class at the mastery, partial, and non-mastery levels. The graph also represents the mastery levels for the pre-assessment, the post-assessment, and the final assessment. The pre-assessment drives my instructional path for the units. I gather the data and analyze it in several different ways. I disaggregate the data by grade level and by standard. This graph in particular shows the mastery levels for the 6th grade classes at the pre, post, and final assessment. For my 7th grade class and 8th grade class. The following graph shows the mastery levels for the objectives covered in the unit. As mentioned previously, the data drives the class instruction. This data shows that my 8th grade class would benefit from whole class instruction on higher order transition words. As part of the data chat required from my admin, they ask us 2 basic questions. What misunderstandings are revealed in the data? The data shows a lack of mastery in transition words. I think it's due to introduction of higher order transition words. For this particular unit, since we had already covered transitional words in Unit 1, I required my students to use higher order transition words. They were not allowed to use first, next, then, or finally. What objectives warrant more time for whole class instruction, reteaching, and review? I'll be looking at my acquired data and WIDA scores to target specific groups. For the do nows in the class, they will consist of figurative language and higher order transition words such as furthermore, incidentally. How will I teach this skill standard in a different way? Based on the pretest, scores determine what skills need to be taught. Initially, I begin with exemplar text to show students the target level for their writing. I also show them text that does not meet the target level of writing, and we used a writing rubric I created to rate the writing. Then, as a class, we select areas to improve. Furthermore, I do small group instruction or individual instruction based on learning needs. Finally, an assessment is administered to determine mastery. When and how will specific standards be assessed again? Standards will be continuously addressed throughout the next month via writing samples. Thank you. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. My email is listed below.